maybe my HB, and I'm going to start to model out the lights. So after the core shadow, there's going to be this transition tone into the lights, and it's going to slowly get lighter as it comes closer and closer to the highlight, which would be probably like about here. So I'm placing my different halftone. So it goes core shadow, transition, halftone, and we can actually label these things as we go. So let's start labeling some of these things so you can kind of remember these words. This is our cast shadow. And then here we have our core shadow, or the terminator. And that's the edge of our shadow shape. Then we have our halftone. And this halftone is gonna continue to come up, and as we slowly get it lighter and lighter like a gradient, this is what's starting to make it look three-dimensional. And I'm trying to like think of the form as I render around. And as I come closer and closer to my highlight, I can start to use my 2H pencil and start to go really, really light. Get lighter and lighter. And then you can use your finger to kind of like help blend things a little bit. And then you can pop out the highlight if it gets dirty a little bit. So I'm just trying to make more of a transition tone in here. And notice my values start off with a 5, and then they go to 4, a 3, a 2, to a 1, the white of the paper. So we're using the value scale as a guide to explain the form turning and to explain the shading, how the light is hitting the object and making it appear three-dimensional. Using my eraser to kind of just clean things up a little bit so I can kind of see what I'm working with. So now I'm gonna kind of clean things up a little bit. See how there's like this little light patch? That's kind of breaking the form from turning. So I'm gonna kind of shade that a bit more. Same thing with over here. And then I can get my eraser and see how there's like these darker patches where I got a bit messy. That's also kind of breaking the form, so I can kind of lighten those up with the tip of my eraser. And then this is more of the shape the highlight would be making. And through this project, it's kind of forcing you to like practice different techniques with your eraser and the tip of your pencil. So it's forcing you to learn different techniques. So now I'm kind of just touching things up, seeing where I can improve different parts of the drawing. I feel like I could continue to darken this up a little bit. And okay, so a couple more things to label. We have our reflective light down in here. So that's called reflective light. And that's within the shadows. And it shouldn't get lighter than a 6. If it gets too light, it'll appear like a light rather than reflective light within the shadow. And then up here we have our highlight. So why this is one of the first lessons I like to do with my students, because it gives you vocabulary to talk about light. And then when we're working on different projects in my class, if I say, oh, your reflective light is too light, or if I say, oh, your cast shadow is not the right shape, or your halftone's too dark, or whatever, the students understand what I'm talking about. So vocabulary is helpful. So that's all for today. I hope you guys enjoyed this lesson, and some people don't find it very fun, but it's really helpful to get kind of just some basics down, and then what the point of it is to then give you tools to then create other objects, whatever it be, or animals or anything you imagine. Now you can use these tools and techniques to make them have more form and dimension, and you can do it in your imagination. Kind of just, you can always kind of think of like, okay, if I'm drawing like a Christmas tree or something, you can think of like, okay, where's the light coming from, where's the shadow gonna be, and that will be able to give you make your drawings look more three-dimensional. Right, so it'll become helpful for whatever you're drawing, and it also can help your drawings make sense when you're working from imagination. So hope you guys enjoyed that. Have a good day.